was going to forget something. As always, not clickbait. I actually have way too many things to talk about today, so I'm gonna try to touch on each one and not spend too much time on any particular thing. But I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to do it with something. Um, you know what? I have somebody coming to fix something. I shouldn't even got on stream yet. Let me grab something real quick. I'll be right back. Um, let people in the comments know I'm literally be back in 10 seconds. And what I need is not where it's supposed to be. Anyway, let me get on to it. A lot of stuff to talk about today. And like I said, I have a repair guy that's supposed to be coming. But this is the first time in a very, very long time that I have more notes of stuff to talk about, like talking points, than I do like articles. So I'm looking at both, and I know I got to go pretty fast here today. And hopefully the sound is good. Let me know in the comments if the sound is good. But important stuff to talk about. Anyway, like I said, it's not clickbait. A lot of stuff backfiring. Some of it I'm trying to think if I want to touch on. But anyway, so speaking of backfiring, we got the price of trying to go down even further now as I'm on. Anyway, let's go to 7 days. So we're up about $70,000, right? We're almost at $70,000 Bitcoin. And I have been saying for months, and I think it's what they should have done. This my head is hurting even think about this stuff. Should have done. They are wearing this out. They are wearing this out. See, I feel a rant coming on, but I'm not gonna go there. They did a lot. They did a lot in the States. Just put it this way, that are causing problems. Problems we shouldn't have. Everybody talks about the fact that we're overspending and over the budget, and we're at 35 trillion in debt right now. Everybody knows that one, but there's a lot of things they did, and some of them I won't even really talk about. But they do stuff in the States because they want to make money off citizens, and all they care about is the money, and they're greedy. They don't care what the country looks like for the next generation. Their kids, their grandkids, they don't give a crap. It's a bunch of old people running the ship or steering the ship, and they're trashing the country, and they don't give a crap what they're doing. And once again, I keep trying to, as much as I can, I try to get people on my channel to think neutral and forget about your political parties, because it's all of them. The top 1%, you know who they are. And they're doing stuff because they make money in the short term. And if you really look deep into it, which we can't talk about today, even some of the moves they try to make, they make money for a short time, but in the long run, it hurts them because they're just too greedy. So that's the number one thing that's backfiring. We wouldn't be in the situation with $35 trillion debt, inflation, and all this kind of crap. Just like we talked about the other day on the channel, them buying up all the homes or whatever. Then, if you really study this stuff, and let me say, I study this to a small degree, to be honest. I do so much in my life that I can't explain all the things I do. But I do have a lot of people that are deep into real estate and actually know what they're doing. And I'm not knocking it, but I'm not talking about people who get Airbnbs and rent out properties. I'm talking about people that from residential to I can't even think right now. You know what I'm trying to say. But they're deep in real estate. And so they were doing all this stuff in the real estate market, trying to, as people are saying, make sure we don't own anything and make sure we're just renting. And we talked about one thing the other day. But a lot of that stuff is backfiring on them. And they're always, as we know with the banks, they're always going to bail themselves out. And it just makes it bad for everybody. I didn't even plan on saying any of this, what I'm saying right now. But yeah, that's the number one thing. Let's get to the other stuff, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. we'll talk about some of the positives. Bitcoin ETFs had about $300 million in net inflows yesterday, which is one of the biggest inflows that we had in a while. Because, like I said, we were having 250 million inflows. We had like a 400 million inflow a couple of weeks ago. But usually anything above 200 million inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs, we were only having that early on. After that, as became 50 million, 40 million, sometimes even 9 and 10 million in inflows. So yeah, it's cool to see 300 million inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs. We had 77 million outflows on the Ethereum ETFs, which is, negative, not seen as good. But that's a bunch of the grayscale inflows. Actually, the inflows into the other, I'm not going to even scroll down and get into all that. We got a lot to talk about. But the inflows into the other ETFs was pretty good, but it's grayscale that's just overshadowing them with all their outflow. Maybe I will. What was the numbers? If I don't find them fast enough, I'm going to skip right past them. Yeah, y'all can look it up. Matter of fact, you can read this article. I put it in the chat because we got a lot to talk about. But yeah, grayscale is overshadowing the other inflows into the ETF. So that's where we are. Oh, y'all didn't even see this. It wasn't even on the screen. But yeah, 300 million inflows into the Bitcoin ETFs, 77 million outflows to the Ethereum ETFs. Once again, I'm just going to skip right through some of these. Fidelity launches competitive Bitcoin ETP on the London Stock Exchange. So once again, these are showing you that adoption is still growing. We're still bullish. The main thing we're going to talk about today is why the prices are falling, why the market is reacting, why it's doing. So on a macro long-term level, everything is still bullish and positive. So you can't be affected by the short term, as I always say. On top of that, we also have the Hong Kong's largest online broker launches a Bitcoin and Ethereum trading platform for 22 million users. So once again, I could read into this article. You know what? Maybe if for y'all, for those of you that are readers and you want to read yourself, or you usually plan on me reading it, I will put these in the chat for you. But as I say, I'm only blowing through these because I feel like this could drag out to be a long stream, and I do have a maintenance person coming, and I don't want to be here too long. I don't want to make fun of anybody, and I'm not going to make fun of anybody, but I'm going to just remind you, because some of y'all are new. This is the same crap that they pull last cycle, which I said this is one of the main things that made it very difficult for me to get friends and family and loved ones to get into crypto. And some of them still don't want to do it because this is the only thing they seen from Bitcoin was scams. Last cycle, there was this scam. It was like, oh, you send me either money or 1 Bitcoin and I'll send you back twice as much. I don't know why anybody would fall for this, but people do, is all I can say. You should know. Listen, nobody's going to give you more than you give them. There is no kind of way they're going to flip. They try to say, I'm a good trader. I'm going to flip the Bitcoin and make 4 times as much. And that's why I can give you twice as much. It's not going to happen. But anyway, to blow through this, apparently during the Bitcoin conference, there was a scammer. There was a deep fake Elon. A lot of people, let me say this too. I keep saying this. Y'all are so early to crypto and some of this technology stuff that you don't even realize you're early. You don't even realize you have more knowledge than 98% of people probably. But anyway, a lot of people don't know about deep fakes and AI and the fact, they know about AI, but they don't realize that AI can replicate a person and their voice and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, there was a scammer that was, I guess, streaming during the Bitcoin conference, and they were pretending to be Elon Musk. And it's the traditional scam where they say, hey, you send me a Bitcoin and I'll send you 2 Bitcoin back. And a lot of people fell for this. And I can't remember how much money was lost. Did it say it up here? But not a lot. But investors lost 80K, but it's still a lot. I mean, when you what was that? When you factor in maybe somebody put 4,000 in, maybe it's all they were throwing a Hail Mary. And I know we can all be pompous and arrogant and say, well, they shouldn't have did that with their last dime, but it's messed up. A lot of people are really going to get messed up. I don't know, man. It's just really bad. But yeah, we're going to get some deeper stuff. I'm just blowing through this stuff because I know we do have some new people. I'm gonna have to cut through a lot of these. A lot I could talk about. I'm sorry. Just in, El Salvador proposes settling trades with Russia and cryptocurrency. Once again, another bullish news. Short term might be looking fuzzy right now, but y'all just hold on. So one of the things that people are talking about is and I'm gonna try to just speak clearly. I won't put too much of my own thoughts on this and just say what the facts are. So a lot of people saying, what's going on after the FOMC? Do I talk about that yet? Let me go ahead and talk about this. I'm sorry, I thought I was gonna talk about this later. I'm gonna be short about this though. So after the FOMC meetings, usually around the FOMC meetings, we do see some volatility. You do see some drops, and usually it takes a while for stuff to pick back up. It's Thursday right now. Maybe it picks up Friday. Maybe it picks back up next Monday. So a lot of people saying they think we're going to be bearish long term over the month. Like I keep saying, I think going into August it's going to be a little bit more bullish. But we just got a lot of bearish stuff to talk about today, and just stuff that you need to know. But anyway, people saying after the FOMC meeting, stock market started going, the Russell 2000 started running, and all this kind of stuff. One thing I will say, and I think like even the video like gained what $300 billion. Imagine if we get $300 billion in just a couple of altcoins, like we'd all be rich. But anyway, so they gained about $300 million because I think the start of not yesterday, day before yesterday, I think it was at about $102. The stock went up to like 100 and what it went. I guess I got it on screen. It was like 120. I know it was like 117. The top was 121, 122, and they gained $300 billion in their market cap. So what people are saying, listen, y'all, you got to control your emotions. You got to watch who you following on Twitter and YouTube. A lot of people knock people like George at Crypto R Us because they say he's a perma bull and they think he talks nonsense and he's just always positive no matter what's happening. And then you have people that are always bearish. It's almost better because you have these people that are so up and down with everything that happens in the market. I see people like cussing to themselves on Twitter, like just essays of "I'm tired of this BS" or whatever, and they talking about how the stocks are running and crypto's not running. I'll talk about stocks first. Number one, stocks is running. I think I can say this clearly. Nancy Pelosi is buying stocks. People gonna follow what she's doing. She bought a lot of Nvidia, and so that's why Nvidia started surging and started going up. So you have that one thing there. So you can't always correlate what stocks is doing with crypto. And I see people just I'm not making fun of anybody. I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just saying what it is. Like a lot of people are having tantrums this morning on Twitter. Like after a while, I just had to I had to just get out of there, try to collect some news and just move on. And some of these people, to be honest, I actually respect. Sometimes they have good takes or whatever. They can put you onto some stuff or whatever. But it's this one guy in particular. I didn't even pull up the tweet. I was gonna pull it up because I don't want to I ain't got time to be beefing with nobody because I already know I'm crazy. But he's actually decent. He's actually pretty decent. He can put out some real good information, but he just flip flops so much for me. I think he's just too emotionally charged, and I understand it. Like I said, I have a lot of patience. I try not to let stuff affect my mood too much. Every once in a while, I have a passionate rant. I kind of had one yesterday, but for the most part, I try not to let stuff affect my mood in the market because long term, I'm bullish on it. Long term, I know we can make some money. But anyway, to make this short, Nancy Pelosi buying stocks, people gonna buy stocks. So you can't say that, compare that to crypto. And at the same token, speaking of what people are doing or whatever, this is kind of bearish. Okay, let me make this statement up front. What I'm about to talk about in a lot of these next things that I'm about to bring up is the fact that no matter what I know or what I think I know, I'm not going to say no, what I think I know, because I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you the future. I'm not a fortune teller. No matter what I know or what I think I know, everybody else is going to react on their own feelings. And that's why I keep saying when people ask me, hey, what do you think how many X's this project can do? How big, bullish would this project be? I keep saying I've done my research on the project. I think it's a great project. And I usually try to get projects that cover all the bases, influencers, VCs, great tokenomics, blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff. But it's all about how the market receives it. So the market is going to react. People usually are going to react emotionally. I'm not going to react like that. But it doesn't mean because I'm not going to react like that, the rest of the market is not going to act like that. So I think people inside of crypto are not going to really move on this stuff. But regular retail investors that are just coming into crypto, or even some of the institutions, they see, I didn't pull it up yet, but then they see Cathie Wood's selling off some of her Coinbase shares. Now, I've been in crypto a long time. Some of y'all probably know this. Kathy does this thing where she just rebalances her portfolio, right? And so for me, excuse me, to talk about this in short, so I have strategies, if it's a low risk play or whatever kind of play it is, it doesn't matter, altcoin, degen play. After it does a certain number of X's, I'll take profits. After it does some more X's, I'll take profits. Then most in that middle range of once I pass like a 20, 25X, after I take that 20X profit, and I know it's a good project that I think will continue to run, I'm gonna probably leave a large portion of that bag to run on up, at least until I get to the 40X range, right? Or 35, 40X range, right? And then maybe after 50X, I'll take some more. But she does this thing where it doesn't matter. Like if it's getting too out of balance, she'll rebalance their portfolio or whatever. A lot of people don't know this. So they just like, what? Kathy Woods is selling her Coinbase shares. That means crypto is bearish right now, and people start selling out their altcoin positions and stuff like that. So that's how the market will react. And that's a part. This is one thing I feel like what's happening right now. But this is just something she does. Like I'm not saying, I can't tell you exactly how she does stuff. So I'm just trying to throw out an idea. So say if you're saying like usually she wants 20% or whatever, but say other stuff has been falling, and once the Coinbase shares could only have been up 5 or 6%, but if it's getting out of balance, she just rebalances and she sells some of her shares. So a lot of people don't know this, but and so I've seen people on Twitter saying that Kathy Wood knows something, guys. You gotta pay attention to what Kathy Wood is doing. She knows something, and if she's selling, you should be selling too. And seeing people say stuff like that, which is not really true, but people are gonna listen to people because they just trade on emotions. Once again, I told you I got a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna keep moving. Um, let me move this one down some. I feel like these are out of order, but maybe I put them in this order for a reason. So maybe I'll just talk about it. I feel like I took my time and put these in order. So, all right, if it's in this order, I'm gonna talk about it in this order. I'm gonna blow through a lot of these. All right, because I got a lot of notes over here. These are my stories. These are my notes over here. Um, Meme coins, y'all. Meme coins. Meme coins gets touchy because I'll be quick about this. It gets touchy because the people who push meme coins and that push them hard, let's be honest, most of them are scammers. The problem a lot of people have, and we all have, is you don't know which one of these they're going to continue to push. There's a couple of these that I feel like they were done with the runs of these meme coins, but once again, the market picked them up and was like, oh, we bullish on it. And then they start rerunning these meme coins. Um, Usually when I see too many scammers involved in the meme coin, I stay away. And sometimes, yeah, I do know like it probably can pump, but you never know when they're gonna rug pull it. But I don't feel like slapping nobody, so I'm not even gonna get into it on the stream. But it's a particular meme coin, and maybe you've been seeing word about it. And a lot of people said they're gonna talk about it. I'll let them talk about it. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm gonna talk about this later." But it's a particular meme coin that came out that they started pushing, and it slowed down for a minute. And I guess it picked up steam again. But a lot of people are saying that they found out like when they first launched the meme coin, and this happens with a lot of meme coins. But usually it's probably maybe 8 to 12, maybe 15 to 20 people. But they sent the meme coin out to 400 different addresses before they really started shilling it or whatever. And I'm gonna see how it plays out. But I don't plan on getting into this meme coin. And don't get me wrong. Every once in a while, you got that itch. You're like, well, maybe I throw a little bit in there because you know them scammers gonna push it. But I just try to stay away. I've been saying this since the beginning, and it's tiring information. And I'm gonna talk about three things today that I've been saying to y'all that everybody apparently is big news to everybody else, and they just started talking about it. But we just got to be careful. It's gonna be a lot of plays, and once again, I already told you my whole thing about 5% of 20 different plays or having 12 to 15 different picks at least. You really are gonna have to do that, but we're gonna have to really make sure the ones we picking are the tightest of the tightest. And of course, if you got a big enough bag and enough money to throw around, you might throw some money into some other picks that may do well. But the market is dumb saturated. It's so saturated, and the meme coins have taken over a lot of the money in the market. So it's not being able to be put into utility plays. But there will be a time when people are tired of this, and there will be a time when all the utility plays are running and people are going to jump into them. So, I'm still sitting in those. I'm not trying to jump into too many meme coins. And to be honest, I try to find meme coins that I feel like they're gonna do well. They got a community behind them and some people pushing them. May not be the hottest at the time or whatever, because like I said, a lot of the ones that are hot at the time are ran by scammers. And the main thing I'm saying, I'm gonna move on, is this one that they were saying they found out it was given out to hundreds of wallets before they started pushing it, which means they're waiting to dump it on people anyway. I saw a lot of the reports coming up, from the Arkhams and all the different sightings. And the first people that came to the defense are like a ton of scammers, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't jump into some of these projects. And two of these guys, they've been on. They don't. I mean, I've never heard them talk about a utility play ever since I've been in crypto. So hmm, I see something on it now. Yeah, be careful is all I'm saying. I don't want to reiterate that too much because I talk about the meme coin thing a lot. This is another one I've been talking about, and I'm not fudding the project. I'm not fudding the project. I'm not saying it can't come back, but I'm trying to use this as an example for all these people who trying to pretend they give you alpha. And I told you how I feel about it yesterday. I don't want to get into that rant again because I got a little too passionate. But people throw out the statement saying like, "Oh, you're working too hard. You're trying to hold everything. Having more than 5 plays is not over diversified." I feel like you're just hitting over diversified in crypto when you start to get to 25, 30 plays, 40, 50. But having more than five is not over diversified. Like I said, I believe 12 to 15 to 20, somewhere around there. If you think 20 is too over diversified, I feel like you should at least have 12 to 15. Because Kajira is known to be a good project, a real project, whatever you want to call it. But they just dumped 50%. And I'm gonna read the article on what happened. And I'm like I said, the people are like, oh, but if it's a low risk play, and people say like, if you're looking for 10x, just get these low risk plays, and these are gonna do well, blah blah blah. And so then you got 5 plays, you got 20% of your portfolio in a low risk play, and then you lose 20% of your money. It's not a good look, y'all. So that's why I said it's not good to have five plays. But I see a ton of people making these videos and these Twitter posts about. I think one person made the post and then everybody just started copying it. Like 5 picks to hold. Like it's not smart, y'all. Anyway, Kajira token drops 40% as teams on-chain leverage positions get liquidated. The price of Kajira token dropped 40% today from 97 cents to 57 cents due to the Kajira Foundation's operational wallet liquidations. The native token of Cosmos-based Kajira blockchain saw its price decline 40% today, going from 97 cents to 57% as a result of the Kajira Foundation wallet liquidations. The foundation had taken leveraged liquidity provision positions worth millions of dollars, which it failed to manage properly on its own DeFi platform using operational funds and leverage. Sorry. Oh, the liquidations occurred as the loans. Did I finish? Yeah, the liquidations occurred as the loans taken by the team using this Kajira token reserves became under-collateralized amid volatile conditions. This resulted in automatic liquidations, triggering a cascading sell-off and dropping the prices of the collateralized asset. Data from Pulsar Finance shows that the team's wallet still has a debt position of $2 million. Pretty much that's the gist of what happened. So I'm not fudding the project. I'm not saying it's trash or anything like that. I haven't even dug into this enough. But what I'm trying to say is, no matter how low risk you think a project is, how long it's been around, or who the backers and the developers and all, it's not good to just put huge bets on just a couple of different plays. Y'all probably know in the chat a couple of projects I'm talking about where people like, hold this much of this project and you'll be fine. There's not a project under the sun that I, you know, want to hold that much of. Um, anyway, I, I I don't want to talk about that. I want to, but I don't. Oh, this is some of the. Oh man, I feel like I gotta put prayers up for some of these people because. And this is another thing. Let me say this too. And I've said this before. Like, I really try to be a person of empathy. I'm gonna try to say this quickly. When you ask me about how I think plays are going to do, I do my research. I feel like they're going to do well, but it's all about how the market receives them. And because everybody is different, right? And so even when I know I said all that stuff about people being up and down in their emotions, but let's be real, and I'm not trying to be funny. Some people have anxiety problems. Some people have all kinds of mental problems, mental issues, health problems. So that could be why they're so up and down. So I don't want to really knock people for being, you know, up and down in the market, changing their views. Um, and I make the joke a lot of times. Some of y'all get really excited about 40% pump. 40% pump does not phase me at all, like whatsoever. And so at the same token, some of y'all get really bearish when y'all see a 10 or 15% drop. Don't let it be 30, 40%. Y'all will lose your minds. And once again, I'm not trying to make fun of that, but I understand that, everybody can't handle certain stuff. But yes, I don't want to knock these people too much, but I want to get into some bigger stuff. I'm gonna go over here to my notes. I think I might come back to this one. It might let me come over here to my notes. A little dizzy today. I've been drinking my water. So let's see, notes. I already talked about some of these actually. I was saying after the FOMC, there would be hesitation in the market movements, and usually the markets are dropped right before, unless they say something super good in the FOMC. And usually you give it a day, it'll still probably be down today. Maybe it'll start going back up Friday or maybe Monday. Depend. Like I keep saying, in the next 4 to 5 weeks now, there's still a lot of stuff they're going to use to move the markets, and we just kind of wait on it. I already talked about Nancy Pelosi buying stocks right now, so people are following her lead because she's a profitable stock trader, inside trader, or whatever. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, I've been saying for months. I thought they were going to do surprise interest rate cuts. I was wrong. It's cool. But as the time was going on, I was seeing the stuff that they were putting out. Even though I don't believe in a lot of the numbers they put out, I saw, like I said, they're going to draw the narrative that they want to draw. It doesn't matter what the truth is. So we did not get the surprise interest rate cuts that I was hoping for, or not really hoping, that I thought was coming. But it's cool because it's a negative to some of y'all, but it may give us more time to accumulate. What is this? Yeah, they went from saying stuff like they were saying before, like, oh, the jobs are, jobs growing is strong. Now they're saying it's moderate. It never was strong. It never was strong. Why y'all lying to us? Like we all out here living in the real world. And another thing I'll talk about later, we all seeing what's going on in the real world, but y'all still trying to make us think what you want us to think because y'all are, I keep saying this, they keep using these old tactics from the 40s to the 80s, 1980s that don't work anymore because the source of information, the news, is no longer just NBC, CBC, CNN, Fox News. The mainstream media is no longer the source of news. So y'all keep trying to lie to our faces, and you think you're tricking us and getting over, but you're really not, because we know what's going on. We understand what's going on. Let me make sure the sound is still good because okay, we still good, okay. But you can't trick us anymore. But they're still going to do it. I never believed the numbers they were putting out before. Now all of a sudden, the jobs are strong. Okay, whatever. Inflation was elevated. Now they're saying that it's somewhat elevated. They say what they want to say. I don't want to talk about this one too much because I really talking about politics getting bad. This kind of stuff, people really start fussing and fighting. But we got the whole Iran and Israel situation going on right now. That could be having a little effect on the market. Actually, I think a lot of people are in consensus of what my main point I'm about to get to in a minute. That could have effect on the market, but I don't think it's the main thing. I forgot to talk about that one. Hold on. I thought I pulled up something over here, but I guess I didn't. I might have to wait on that. Oh man. Hold on. Just give me just a second. I didn't do enough research, but it was about another project. I was reading about it on Twitter that, if you want to be honest, they pretty much was running a scam, Ponzi scheme, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to get into that today. Where we at on time? Oh yeah, because we climbing in time. I'll skip that one for now. I already talked about the meme token, and yeah. So let me talk about the main thing. I already talked about this before. And once again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I want to talk. I'm gonna say a little bit clear. I'm not gonna be too long about this. I'm gonna try to be clear about it. But I'm not trying to gloat. But I keep saying stuff. The people are so late. Like I usually say something on my channel. It might be a week or two, or usually like 2 days before people start talking about something. But the main thing I see everybody talking about all over Twitter. Um, and when I say crying, I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm making fun of them. But I mean, people are having a fit. And I understand this. I already talked about this 2 times, so it may seem like it's being redundant, but I'm gonna try to say this clear. As I just said, the mainstream media no longer controls the source of information and the knowledge we have. And but the problem is they still haven't grasped that. Um, but for some people, they do. Um, as I was saying the other day on the stream, they used to could say stuff on the news, and the only people you really heard from like were your coworkers, your neighbors about who they were voting for. And so if they put something on the news, they could say the polling numbers are saying this, and they could say whatever they wanted to say, knowing they was going to do what they want to do anyway, and they could trick you. The problem that they're having now is I feel like they're still going to do what they want to do, but the problem is social media. So whereas you only had like your 8 to maybe 20 coworkers, that was your small pool of thinking of who people were voting for. Now you got social media. And as I said the other day, that everybody is just now catching up on, because I seen like everybody on Twitter is talking about it today, is that the sentiment, I guess you say, the sentiment around Kamala Harris is much bigger than what the powers that be, that's what we're going to call them, that they were banking on, because they're so used to controlling the narrative. And as I saw somebody say, you would think after the felony thing and the I'm trying to think what word to say on stream, the attempt on Trump that happened the other week, you would think after that it was a clear shot far as sentiment of him winning or whatever, and that's what they wanted. But they don't, and I'm gonna explain that. Like I keep saying, they don't understand. Let me say it straight for you. I ain't got time for euphemisms. They don't understand black people. They don't understand black people. And so what they were banking on was like, yeah, we're gonna say, he got a felony like y'all, and he got shot at like y'all, and that's what resonates with y'all. I keep saying this. I grew up very rough. I grew up very rough. I grew up in the hood. I grew up around a lot of stuff, a lot of unlifings. I've seen unlifings. I've seen drug dealing, all that kind of stuff. But when I came out of it myself, I realized that a lot of black people didn't live like I lived. A lot of them live in the suburbs. A lot of them, and I see people throwing this term around, inner city. Like it's not how a lot of black people live, and they try to make it like that's the majority. So what they thought was they was going to run the narrative that black people are voting for Trump because he resonates with black people because, mind you, let me say this clear. I think they still gonna throw him in office anyway, but he resonates with them because of he got a felony charge or whatever, or they convicted him or whatever, and now they're shooting at him or whatever. What they did not, what they did not depend on is that their view of black people is very limited and very shallow, very narrow, because a lot of black people live in the suburbs. A lot of black people are fluid. A lot of black people are not on welfare and food stamps and child support and all that kind of crap. And so social media is reacting to Kamala. I'm gonna talk about stuff on both sides, so y'all just hold on. The way social media is reacting to Kamala is not what they were ready for. Um, in their mind, if you ask them in their mind, Kamala doesn't resonate with them because she's wears a suit and ties or whatever, and they thought we all just wore booty shorts and twerked all day and whatever. Was she? And let me talk about it. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to talk about it from both sides, because even her camp. Why would you have Megan Thee Stallion at a political rally? Megan only has one type of music. That's party music, and which is why I still stand by what I say. still pandering to people, still just going out. She's still going out there to collect the money. I still don't believe she's going to win. But let me make the main statement clear. I feel like they're going to make the choice that they want to make, but they have to create the illusion that you made the choice, right? But the problem they're having right now is the illusion, because the illusion was supposed to say, hey, 50 Cent came out with many men, black people like Trump, blah, blah, blah. And they're having trouble with their illusion right now because the illusion is not working well on social media. And now the illusion is about 50-50. It's about 50-50. And you can go on any given page, Shade Room, Baller Alert, whatever, and you can see black people fighting amongst each other. And it's usually 50-50 argument. Man, Democrats ain't did nothing for y'all, man. Uncle Trump is gonna be the blah blah. Then you got the other side saying, what has they done for black? Kamala is this, that. She went to HBCU. And so they're having trouble. They're having a lot of trouble with this illusion. Because they don't understand black people. They just go on TikTok and they think they understand us, but they don't. On the other side, I will say, and I've said this before, and this is me, I'm a neutral person. I keep saying this. I think I need to eat something. I'm a little nauseous. I keep saying this, and it's the truth that Kamala has not owned her blackness before this. I've said this before. She has not owned her blackness. And I don't like, this is the only clip that I can pull up right now. I don't like what he put in his caption. Let me see if I can move his caption out the way. I'll move his caption out the way. But this is the Kamala I've known. Now I can bring up plenty of different clips. And once again, on here, I'm neutral and I'm only stating the facts. I'm not trying to sway you any particular way. I don't give a crap really how you vote. I really don't give a crap. But I'm just saying, I'm just bringing the facts. So this is this.
Okay, so what we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
But actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food.
Okay, so what we're gonna cook today.
So let me say this clearly, because I don't want y'all thinking. I don't. Okay, it's gonna be hard to say, but I don't care what anybody like resonates with, but because as a biracial person, which is another thing they can't understand, biracial people, they are both. They're both. If you have a black and a white parent, you are both. If you have an Asian parent and a black person, you are both, whatever. But I've only seen Kamala like really resonate with and be proud of her. I'm gonna say a lot of touchy stuff here, but I've only seen her ever be really proud of her Indian side. Now, I think if I'm not mistaken, her father's Jamaican. Her father's Jamaican, black. Not necessarily African American black, but he's Caribbean. But he's black. But one thing I've seen, I have a lot of friends, and they will admit to this. This is not a negative, but a lot of my friends who are African, Haitian, Jamaican, they do want to understand their blackness more in America. So they usually do go to a HBCU, or some of them will say they have a problem with it. A lot of times they'll tell you this. They're between my Haitian, African, and Jamaican friends and Caribbean and Trinidadian friends, their parents will often send them to an all-white school, and it leaves them not really understanding their blackness in America. And so they will go to HBCU. So I'm not saying that's why she went to HBCU or whatever, but most of that stuff has really been in the past. But in recent times, Kamala has not really owned her blackness, and until, like a lot of people said, until she needs the black vote or whatever. And even them deciding to bring Megan Thee Stallion, it kind of was, it was over patronizing. It was once again, I'm not even gonna make the next statement, but it was over patronizing. And it didn't make sense at a political rally. At a political rally, I mean, even Jay-Z, Beyonce, Common, Music Soul Child. I don't know. But yeah, twerking at a political rally was kind of crazy. But anyway, let's get to the main point. What's happening though now? Sorry. Back to the main point because I haven't touched it yet. The main point is that, as I was saying earlier in the stream, no matter what I think, it's all about how the market reacts and people's emotions and how they feel. And so a lot of people are afraid now, or they're hesitant because they're like, wait a minute, I thought it was a clear win for Trump, and now they're seeing the same thing we're seeing. Twitter, Instagram, people talking about Kamala, and so they think there's a chance that she could win the election now. I already told y'all how I feel, and I still believe that. But it doesn't matter what I think or what I feel or what I know or what I think I know. The rest of the market is just like, oh man, Democrats been hard on crypto, and now it looks like Kamala's about to get in office or whatever. And they really, so people are hesitant now to buy their bags. And so, in line with what I said, yes, around the FOMC meeting, the market does drop. I still think it's going to pick up a little around the beginning of August. I don't know what the end of August is going to be like. I keep telling that Jamie Dimon statement still didn't sit well with me. But to bring it home, y'all, a lot of people are starting to see like, oh, so people like Kamala, and they think that she has a chance to get in office. And so it's making people be hesitant. And no matter what predictions I say or have said, you kind of go, as I keep saying, you got to go day by day with this. You can't be a dummy and just be like, I said it, so therefore it's got to happen. You got to look at stuff as the new developments happen. And as I told y'all, the next, well, now it's 4 to 5 weeks, a lot of stuff is going to come out that can sway the market up or down. So we never know what's going to happen. But in the macro terms, if people are saying, if they're afraid that Kamala's going to get in office and they think she or the Democrats are going to be bearish on crypto, if they get in office, the market could very much well be sitting still. Okay, let's say this. The market could be sitting still for a while. We do have some events that coming up in September and October that can make the market run. But when you talk about like actually running or getting some bigger runs and more consistent runs, probably after the election. It's probably going to be a while. Now, some of y'all can see that as bearish. I don't see it as bearish because, like I keep saying, my view is long term, and it just gives us more time to accumulate. But if this is what people are thinking right now, it is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. I can't control what millions of people are thinking. I can't control what thousands and millions of people are thinking. So it could be interesting, y'all. And a lot of people across Twitter, and the people with influence, this is how they're talking. So they're negative. And if they're negative and a lot of people are following them, then the rest of the market is going to be negative. They're not going to want to buy altcoins. So we're just going to see how this plays out in the next couple of days. Like I said, so much. I think I did well because I had a lot to talk about. I really tried to narrow down what I talked about. And I'm trying to present y'all facts and give y'all stuff to think about so you can form your own thoughts or whatever. And not just take my words. But that's one of the main things we're dealing with. And I think even Rand talked about this morning, but it's all over Twitter. Some of the biggest crypto influencers, and I don't know if some of y'all even know who they are, but like I said, I know a lot of y'all think it's YouTube, but not really. It's YouTube. Crypto people on YouTube kind of have some pull, even the bigger ones kind of, but it's really the people on Twitter. But even some of the biggest ones on Twitter, they just been very negative when talking about, the whole Kamala thing and different, like the chances of her winning on poly market, prediction markets, and all that kind of stuff is going up, and she's starting to head more even with Trump in the prediction markets or whatever. So I still, I still feel how I feel, and that's not me being stubborn. I just feel how I feel. I feel like they're gonna put Trump in there regardless. Republicans gonna be in office because everything is lining up that way. But in the meantime, until the regular people, regular investors and retail investors know this stuff, the market is going to react like they think that Kamala could be in office and it could be bearish for crypto. So that's pretty much that. There's a lot of stuff I could talk about. I'm a little lightheaded though. I don't know. I didn't eat my breakfast, but maybe I need to work out. Maybe the lights might be bothering me too though. But that's what we dealing with. So, as he said, good morning. Hopefully, the sound is better today. I think it should be though. Oh, we don't have as many comments and questions today. I skipped a lot of other stuff too, but a lot of stuff is backfiring. But projects, diversify your portfolio, all that good stuff. Um, Doug Jernigan, forgive me if I'm saying your name incorrectly. You said my second vid viewers, much respect. I've been scammed by influencers with the Matt Fury narrative, i.e., the Night Riders. 70% down, time to move on from the others. Glad I discovered you. Oh, cool. Yeah, I will say, the Matt Fury narrative of meta. I mean, I think is a good one, but the thing is, you got to know which ones to get into. And like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of people who push the meme coins. The people who have power to push meme coins usually are scammers because they know they have the power to push them up and down, and you just got to know which one they're going to continue to push. And none of us really have that knowledge, especially when it comes to meme coins. None of us really have that knowledge, and they're harder to research than utility plays. So if you think we have problem picking utility plays, meme coins is a whole different ball game. But yeah, I really listen. It's been a lot of meme coins running lately, but people in my group probably noticed. I think I've talked about maybe two in the last I don't know how many weeks. Like, because yeah, we know meme coins are going to be a narrative, but I've been really focused on utility plays, the ones that are out, the ones that are not out yet, and trying to focus there. And I think I only really talked about two meme coins that I think could be bullish. And of course, they're going to react towards the market too right now too, because Bitcoin is falling. So it's not like they're going to run while the market sentiment is down. But there's a lot of influencers that are scamming people. There's also a lot of influencers that are not trying to scam people, but they just don't know what they're doing. And like I said, a lot of people started channels and stuff in the bear market, and it felt like, oh, I know what I'm doing, because especially when you once you come out the bear market and you bought something and the sentiment picks up, everything kind of starts to run, and you feel like you know what you're doing, and then you have to kind of leave some of those plays behind, like even a lot of plays we had like that. They were like bear market plays, but when newer shinier stuff comes out, you got to move on. So yeah, you got straight up scammers that know they're scamming, and you just got people who don't know how to uh, they don't know how to study the market. Listen. I'm gonna be straight up honest here, y'all. I don't know how y'all gonna take this, because once again, I think I say stuff one way and y'all might perceive it a whole different way. But I bust my ass like studying this market, uh, trying to cross reference like people I know what they talking about, seeing what else they bullish on. And I'm talking, I did this like 18 months, no, it's longer than that now. So 2 years ago now, 2 to 3 years ago, started studying what's coming out next cycle. And of course, when the cycle comes here, you got a whole bunch of stuff coming out that I didn't know that was coming out. But you have to do all this research. I did all my research months ago. I'm not just in the market like finding stuff and hoping whatever. Like it's stuff I've done research on from last cycle. So some of this stuff I was researching 4 years ago. And but you got new projects coming out, and I'm gonna be honest, I'll be tired. It's just straight up, I'll be tired. And when the market started dropping in like the last 2 or 3 weeks, a lot of meme coins been running. I have had no focus on meme coins because I'm back to researching stuff that's coming out. Maybe something a friend told me about, um, or something I hear about that's coming out. And it's a lot of research. A lot of people just see. I don't think people, even in my group, I feel like a lot of y'all say you appreciate me, but y'all don't really realize how much work I be doing. Like, I don't just look at a ticker and be like, oh, blah 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 influencer with 2 million followers said it was good, therefore I'm gonna shield it to my group. I usually try to go do research of my own and figure this stuff out. And so while these meme coins and stuff in the market has been kind of whatever sideways for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've just been annoyingly tired, um sometimes annoyingly bored, um trying to dig through groups and stuff, and even projects I'm bullish on. Like we got one I'm dealing with right now, and having to do a migration. And it's like, for me, that might not be nothing for somebody else, but it's just one little bit more aggravating thing for me to do, because you also don't realize crypto is not all I do. I'm doing other stuff on the side, production wise and stuff like that. So I'm like living like 8 different lives at one time. Crypto takes up a lot of it. But I say that to say, yeah, I don't have so much ego to be like, dang, this new project coming out, I'm not gonna touch it because I didn't know anything about it. I'm just like, all right, let me go check it out, do my research on it, and just try to make sure the group is in the best projects. You can't tell what stuff is doing in the short term, but I try to make sure we get in stuff that in the long term I feel like it's gonna do really well and do some numbers. But yeah, I be tired, man. I be tired. It's been yeah, it's annoying. I ain't gonna lie, it's annoying. It's annoying all the research you got to do, the time it takes, the switches that projects do, the lack of TGEs, and when they said they were coming out in February and they keep pushing it back. And I know I can remember one vividly because I know for a fact they were supposed to come out in February 2023, and they literally pushed it to February 2024, like a full year, not even 3 months pushback, not 6 months, but an entire year. So yeah, I get annoyed with this stuff. It's annoying because sometimes you just want to check stuff off your list. You know what I'm saying? You just want to check it off your list and move on to the next thing. But you got to keep all these irons in the fire because of how other people are doing stuff. Anyway, maybe I need therapists to talk about this stuff. But it gets annoying. But anyway, I say that to say that I do try to study as much as I can, and it's not many influencers doing that. It's not many influencers doing it. And sometimes I know about a project, but I just may not be as bullish on it. So anyway, Blackmore fam said, good morning to you too. Blackmore fam said, hey, Zo, I want to disagree with you. You mentioned child support. Child support is not a black thing, respectively. No, that's what I was saying. That's what I said. That's what I said. I must have was talking too fast. My bad. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying people think like it's, that's all we live on. Because, yeah, majority of non-blacks are actually the ones that are on child support and welfare and stuff like that. But I think I was talking too fast. That's what I was saying. Yeah, they put it all on us, and they think that's how we all live and stuff. And it's not true at all because, like I said, once I got out of the hood and I was like, you black and your house looked like this. And, not that my mother was doing bad. It's just my mother was a widower. She was, my father passed away. Like she wasn't expecting that. And so she just had to kind of pick up the pieces or whatever and try to create the best life for us that she could or whatever. And, move around to where it was a better environment for us and stuff like that. And then I don't talk about it so much, but then she married my stepfather, who was a piece of trash. Lord forgive me, he passed away too. But do I talk about that? Now I got to talk about it because now y'all gonna think I'm crazy. So the story behind my stepfather was he was very abusive to us and my mom, and I'm the same person. I was the same person then that I am now. Even as a child, I was always inquisitive. I was a critical thinker. Not saying I'm the smartest person in the market, but I try to look at it beyond just what other people's point of view are or is because I'm a critical thinker. And so my stepfather had seizures or whatever. And I used to tell him, imagine an 8-year-old telling you, hey, I don't think you should go fishing by yourself because I read up on seizures. And what I told him at the time, I was like, when you open your video game, like the Game Boys or whatever and stuff and the handhelds, right? I said, when you open the package, it says if you have seizures, you can't look at it too long because of reflections and whatever else. And I said, with my critical thinking, I told him, I said, I feel like this is the same as looking at the water. And I don't think you should go fishing by yourself. But anyway, after my mother finally filed for divorce from him, excuse me, he went fishing by himself, and the sun bouncing off the water caused him to have a seizure, and he fell into the water and he died. So anyway, now I'm always telling y'all my life story. So anyway, in the midst of that, so I'm just understanding. So my mother did her thing. She did her thing, but what happened was my stepfather was spending all her money. He would take all her credit cards and go buy himself clothes and all this kind of stuff. And so my mother wasn't able to have the money that she would, always trying to pay off bills. She was a homeowner. She bought 2 houses. And even at the end, he would do stuff behind her back. And he had some pull with different people or whatever. And even when once they got divorced, either he talked to her into doing something or whatever. but she wasn't even able to sell the houses after they got divorced because somehow needed his signature and some other stuff. I was a kid. I don't remember all this stuff. But so he messed up my mother's finances. So that's why we were living in the places we were living. Otherwise, I think if my mother, I hate to say this because I believe in a two-parent household or whatever like that. Granted, my birth father passed away, but I hate to say it, but in this situation, she would have did better by herself. But anyway, like I said, after I got out of this and seeing how other black people were living, I realized like, dang, y'all not even, like where I'm from, like my lady, she lived nothing like what I lived, like the furthest from it. Even when we got together, not in an argumentative or derogatory way, but I would tell her like, you spoiled. Like I didn't grow up like this. Like the stuff your parents are able to do for you and stuff. My mother wanted to, but she wasn't able to do. But no, I'm sorry. I think I must have misspoke. Black and more family. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's not a black thing, but that's how they perceive us, and they think that all black people are on child support, welfare, and all that kind of stuff. And it's not true. Um, I mean, not true at all, not even in the slightest. But the media wants to predict that image of us. And the problem, I'm sorry, I'm on a rant now. Y'all can click off if you want to. But another problem I see when I do run into people who are suburban type black people, I'm not trying to be derogatory, but it is what it is. Black people who are from the suburbs, when they feel like they want to take more ownership of their blackness, or they feel like they're not black, they fall into it too. They're like, I gotta twerk, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, or whatever to seem more black, and it's not true. And as I keep saying, the music industry that I've worked in, they feed you your heroes. It used to be like you had to grind your way up through ciphers and freestyle battle people and make a name for yourself as a rapper, and then you get a record deal and so on, or whatever. But now all the best rappers, they're not even signed right now because that's not the image they want to push of black people. They purposely put what we call industry plants in the industry. We're not going to talk about who, but these people can't rap worth of nothing. Like rap is terrible now. And it's not because people can't rap anymore. It's because they don't want to put in the spotlight the people who are the real lyricists and stuff like that, because they want to present this image of we all just people who unlife people. We all sell drugs. We all twerk 24/7, all that kind of stuff or whatever. But that's not true at all. And for people who are outside of the black community, this is all they see. And I tell even my friends who from the suburbs, I like you you don't have to do that. You still black whether you do that or not. But they're not secure in their blackness, and they themselves are falling for the schemes that these people be running. But anyway, yeah, that's not how our black people are living. Kasim said, good afternoon, you too. As he said, keep holding 40-50x come. Oh yeah, man, we about to make some numbers. I just gotta take care of this little thing this morning and help y'all out in the group with something. But yeah, I'm cool. Just in the short term though, people can say they're not, but if you go read across Twitter, they are very embarrassed because they think Kamala could get in office and they think it's not going to be good for crypto. I don't think that's going to be the case. Some people saying she can get in office and flip bullish on crypto, but everything to me right now lines up with her trying to on purpose be bearish on crypto or trying to be late to the party, because once again, I still stand by what I say is they're trying to lose. They don't want to win. They're just running around collecting money from the campaigns or whatever, and they're going to put Republicans in office and who have been bullish on crypto, and crypto will go to Valhalla, blah, 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 blah. Like I say, even with Patrick McHenry, he's been like the whole time he's been giving Maxine Waters and Brad Sherman and Elizabeth Warren a hard time. And it just, everything seems like it's lining up for that. But you can believe what you want to believe, and the market's gone. They're a little bearish right now. But anyway, if you want to join in the Patreon to get in some picks early and, before they run, before everybody's talking about them, and you want to make some good money in the market. And if you like low risk plays, we also have the low risk plays, medium risk plays, and the DGen plays, full spectrum. So yeah, it's at patreon.com/cryptozo. And my head is hurting. Y'all pray for me. But I'm going to see y'all next time.